Today, it's the National Football League. It's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns taking on Jalen Hurts and the Minnesota Vikings.
We are just a stone's throw from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it is rocking and rolling here at Huntington Bank Field in downtown Cleveland. The kicker, Will Reichard, has the ball on the tee, and off we go from Cleveland. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
And he's exactly the man you want in control of your offense. Excellent arm, good zip on the ball, not afraid to use his legs when he needs to. And what he's excelled at doing is making plays when the first read isn't available or when the pressure is about to get to him.
They will start this drive with Ford. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. He'll drop to throw. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nick Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Taken in at the 11. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle and complete to Addison. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Williams, the man in motion left. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. He lets one go deep for Addison. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Addison, his 11th touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes the score 7-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. Long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And partner, I'm going to make a quick pivot here and ask you to play general manager. It's well documented they're last in the league in offense, number 32. What changes might they make?
And this where you have to be almost like a chess master as a general manager, because you have a few things at your disposal that you need to use. Obviously the draft, free agency, maybe you can make some trades, but also look at your practice squad. Have you been grooming players to promote and give them an opportunity to play as well? That way you start to supplement as well as replace guys that need it.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Throwing on third down, Watson. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He gets it to Addison. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. He lets one go deep for Addison. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 53 yards.
He's already got one touchdown this first half already. That very nearly was a second. Defensively, they're going to have to figure something out because he's been able to outrun the defenders early and often so far.
Here's Swift. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. One more time with Swift. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Touchdown! Jordan Addison with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Vikings lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Into the hands of Cedric Tillman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback.
There he goes, right side. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down. Out of the gun, Watson. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Watson now to throw. On the move to his left. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Boy, as we look down in the field, you can just see how a play like that changes momentum. Look, one side hooting and hollering, getting the big block, and the other side obviously dejected.
And since you mentioned momentum, few plays can change momentum as quickly as a blocked field goal. Big-time play there. Now see if they can capitalize on it and turn the fortunes in their direction.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, The way that they're going about doing things right now, they've got a chance for that third consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a first down. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown.
Ty Chandler with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the... And hauls it in. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Addison doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cleveland offense making their way out. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he whips that one incomplete there. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
On second down, Swift. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He lets one go deep for Addison. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big play there for Minnesota. 55 yards.
I'll tell you what, this is not going to be a fun discussion at halftime for this defense. They've been absolutely taken advantage of in the first half. And here's another play for big yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now a handoff to Chandler. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And this offense on third down today, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Vikings are able to add on to their first half lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff. They'll start on the ground with Swift. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, here comes Swift. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 11. 79 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. And I don't want to harp on it, but this defense among the bottom in the league against the run, and they show it right there.
And it doesn't matter when you get prepared for this defense, whether you're good running the ball or not. That's your plan. Run the ball against them. That's their weakness. And by the way, I think you harped on it.
I did. My bad. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll get into the end
zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it is 42-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. From the end zone, here's Devin Tompkins. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. See if they can put this drive in the end. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Completes this to Addison out left.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing is Hurts. He lets one go deep for Addison. And he's got it inside the 10. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one.
Well, he already had a big receiving game working, and it's going to get a lot better here. Defensively, they're fortunate this is not a touchdown. But he's just been absolutely unstoppable, and he comes up with yet another gigantic play.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Swift is in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. Pass complete to Addison. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. Now Hurts changing up the play. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Out of the gun now on third down.
He lets one go deep for Addison.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Jordan Addison
on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Now Watson.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Balled it to 26, 2nd and 7.
Watson.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Pressure comes as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26.
Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards.
And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15.
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip that. halftime and get ready for the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. They'll come out throwing here on first down. They'll get this complete to Worthy. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. McCarthy to the air again on 2nd and 10. Complete to Addison on the out route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the first down. Once again, it's Swift. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 113 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they're knocking on the door now, as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. Give him 9 yards on the carry there, a good run. And now 2nd and goal. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Tip Ryman punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get the Across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And now an audible here into something else. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
And he's got room. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Swift going to try up the middle.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
That good for 19 and a first down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
1st and 10. Here's McCarthy. Throw to the right, hauled in by Addison.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, his Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field? That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
McCarthy off the play fake. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Jefferson going to go in motion right. Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll look to throw it off play action.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Martin Emerson able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there, and that will extend their lead even further.
That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Browns set and... And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Throwing is McCarthy. Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson.
And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Over the size of lead.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
It's another first. As this time they get an even 20.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now McCarthy throwing on first down.
And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The end result, 21 yards.
Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go in.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
Xavier Worthy.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
On play action, now McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35.
A big play there for Minnesota. 45 yards.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy.
And this is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, looks like they'll move things around here.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Tip Ryman.
His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game.
And the Vikings are closing in on a 14-0 record as they extend their lead.
Extra point up and through. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They'll start on the ground here on first down.
And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 51 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the fourth quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On third down, they'll throw in McCarthy. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another.
first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. McCarthy now on first down. That's caught right side by Worthy. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
That's into the hands of Worthy once again. Touchdown! Xavier Worthy with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Vikings extend their fourth-quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Here's Devin Tompkins on the return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. They're facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here. They'll send a receiver in motion left. On first down, McCarthy. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Addison, 74 yards. And the Vikings continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. McCarthy to throw on 1st and 10. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone. But the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, McCarthy. And he comes back with one complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
They'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's a tap forward by McCarthy on the touch pass. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Third and goal, McCarthy. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Xavier Legette from 3 yards out. And the Vikings have got it on cruise control. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was safe. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for Minnesota, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2-12. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long.